Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about Bitcoin and Cardano. In this video, we're going to take a look at both charts. And yeah, at the moment, the market is recovering a little bit from the drop. I think it did go down all the way to around 41.3K. Bitcoin took the market with it. Again, as always, there are a few cryptos which are doing okay, like Terra Luna. Phantom is going up a little bit, and Theta, we talked about that this morning briefly already. And even Stacks, which, you know, I highlighted as a very, very good crypto in my view for 2022. Not too many people talk about yet. All right, so start with Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still in the range. So first of all, I need to say people panicking already. You know, I see it on Telegram. I see it in the comments, you know, that people talk about just because Bitcoin went down here a little bit, people panicking already. But first of all, we know on this channel, you know, we don't know, but the assumption is, the big assumption, that Bitcoin is going to go to 20 to 29K. So any drop, a little drop like that we had here from all the way at around 44K to where we are now, is actually not a surprise, you know. And on top of that, everything that is happening here in the range between 44K, sorry, and 39.6K is telling us nothing about the outcome. You know, where could the price go? Because overall, what it did come down in this descending channel that we talked about here in this wave 5, the small wave 5, larger wave 3. It's now retracing to a wave 4. As I said, the wave 4 could theoretically be completed already. It did already move here to that Fibonacci retracement level that is the minimum requirement for a wave 4. So theoretically from here it could now break down. I did make you aware. But of course it has not reached the 0.382 fib level, which would be the ideal target level for that wave 4 at around 47K. And if it happens or not, I can't tell you. The probabilities are really, you know, does it go up first and then go down? Does it go down straight away? I don't know. I don't have a crystal ball, so we have to see, you know. And as long as something is in a range, you can't really tell. For me, even if it goes up, it doesn't change anything in the likelihood of it then selling off finally. And we talked about that, if it moves here above that target area of around 49.5K, it could still move into this larger wave B scenario where the Bitcoin would make a larger relief rally, taking us into the area between 54.5 and 62.5K. And even then, my view would that we then still sell off once more. These are two scenarios in which Bitcoin would do a little bit of a relief rally to the upside before it then goes down. I wouldn't personally trade both of them, because all of these would be are corrective waves. So anything that I, for example, buy now when I dollar cost average in here or get my buy order set, I buy them with the intention of holding them long term, because I believe that the price is going to swing around, even, you know, because I don't know if it will eventually go to 20 to 29K. I think the likelihood is very high, but as always, markets are dynamic and the price could at any time decide to do something different. I think all directions go, you know, to the south. The indicators, the higher time frame indicators, are telling us that the prices should really see another sell-off. And I'm quite confident in terms of the Elliott Wave count as well, that it should really take us into this final wave C. You know, we've seen a very, very similar pattern that Bitcoin is doing at the moment on the S&P 500 chart a few days ago. I did show you that. It did exactly the same thing. It did sell off in the final wave C before our wave 2 as well, which then led after that really did lead to a rocket start in a larger wave 3. And I expect the same thing here for Bitcoin. Therefore, you know, everything that I'm buying here, when I buy here, for example, at 39.8K, I did buy. I plan to hold it longer term. And however, should the price really go into the wave B area here, then I probably take profits. I probably wouldn't take profits here in that wave 4. That wouldn't be worth for me. You know, I then plan rather to buy again lower here, because you never know if the price is eventually going to turn around. But I would certainly dollar cost average out in this area here, because then decent profit has been made. And even if the price goes above this, I could rebuy in or buy then the next dip. That's just my personal strategy. So at the moment, it's just moving sideways. Don't panic about anything. What it certainly did, and that's great to see, is that, you know, we had that descending wedge here on the chart. We did a bit of a breakout here. Also, we talked about that earlier today. Then it did come back in, and the price has broken out this morning again. I did post it on Telegram in the member group, and if you want to join the Telegram membership or the Telegram group for live chats and Discord for all my buy and sell orders, stuff like that, all sorts of other information, then check out the links in the video description. You can either do that on my website or here on YouTube. But yeah, it has broken above that descending wedge, but again, we don't really have the volume. You always want the volume confirmation, because we didn't have it here. We also broke back in, and even if that is you could call it a bullish pattern in this case, but we are in a range, so I'd be a bit careful with that. It's also a fairly small descending wedge, so any breakout here could only take us, probably, if we talk about a technical target for that, could take us maybe all the way up to 43.5 again, or 44k. So I wouldn't put too much emphasis on it. Again, as I said, that will be a stressful wave 4. It will take a while probably to play out, as the wave 4 up here did. So yeah, that's my view here on Bitcoin at the moment. And Cardano doing something interesting again. People panicking, people saying it was only a fake out. Now it could very well have been a fake out, but at the moment it's too early to say, because what we do here is we are building here an impulse. So you started from the low here at around $1.08, made our way up here to a wave 1, came down in a wave 2, moved up in a wave 3, came down in a wave 4, and that wave 4 did trigger exactly the 0.618 Fib level. That is also the level that I talked about in my previous video. The price should not go below, and I re-emphasized that on Telegram for the channel members earlier. It did hit the 137, 138 level, so it did actually go slightly below the 138 level, but it did, and you can see the arrows here and here. That was the top of the wave 1, that was the low of the wave 4. They did not cut. The price did exactly hit the top of the wave 1, which means it is still a valid wave 4. And from here then, if this is now playing out and continues as a move up, and we saw here an ABC correction, and we could now see the wave 5 play out for Cardano, that could take us, in my view, in the worst case here, all the way up to 164, again, the top of the wave 3. That is then called some kind of a truncation. So basically a wave 5 that does not go above the previous high. And however, then we've got the next key targets. I think 175 would be a target for that wave 5. 175 is here the 1.272 extension level. And at that level, at 175, we had a previous high not so long ago. Here, it was this one here on the 2nd of December. I think we would need to get through that. And just after that, you've got the 200-day moving average. Now, after that wave 5, what you have is you probably go, because this is then a larger wave 1, you can expect a larger correction, yeah, if this is going to play out as a impulse. Would I trade that now? I can't tell you. I wouldn't go in personally. Well, generally, for the long term, I think, again, these are great prices. We've just seen a dip, and I bought down here at 125. I bought at 108. These were my buy orders. I think they are still valid. We could still, even if we go here to the wave 5, all the way up there, and just assume, yeah, right, it could take us all the way to that wave 5. And we talk about the Fib levels here. And let's just assume it would hit the 175 level. Then we can talk about here in a wave 2, we can talk about a retracement again that could even come down here into the region between 115 and 122. That is possible. You have to assume that is going to happen if that wave 5 is playing out, gets all the way to 175. It is then a larger wave 1. That what we get is a larger wave 2, as we've seen here with many cryptos on a much higher time frame. Waves 2 come typically down to the 0.887 Fib level or the 0.786, and after that you will then get your rocket start. That's just one possible scenario in my view, and not too unlikely one, but it also depends on Bitcoin without a doubt. Good to see though that we found support down here, but again, if we lose that support at 136, 137, and the wave 4 should still come down once more into the price area of the wave 1, which it hasn't done yet, then that impulse would sort of be invalidated for a start. So yeah, I mean, generally very good price for Cardano, don't get me wrong, but just like speculating here for a wave 5 to play out would for me not be enough to enter a long trade here. But as you know, I rather invest in the longer term and do rather swing trading, and this was for me a very attractive low down here. This here after such an increase, and okay, yeah, short-term retracement now. I would rather wait for that larger correction than to go in after I see a confirmed impulse. If this was a valid 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and it would not be a small one, then I would rather try to get in at the low of the wave 2 then, yeah, before we start the wave 3. I would want to wait for that, but personally, because I'm already in, you know, for anybody who's taking the first investment in Cardano, for example, I mean, it's absolutely up to you, but if it was me and I didn't have any Cardano or ADA, yes, I would go in probably now for the long term with a small amount. That is what I personally would do. That is no financial advice. It's only what I would do. I know a lot of people, I mean, honestly, a lot of people, I read it in the comments and everything, people get very pissed off with Cardano again. I don't get why, because all this is doing, it's the typical ups and downs in the market, and overall you're making higher highs, you're making higher lows here at the moment, so no reason to worry at all anyway. And that's just the crypto market, right? And overall it is getting interesting because it has held that support level and is now starting to climb up again. To be fair, it is depending on Bitcoin now as well. While we talk, actually Bitcoin dropping a little bit again. Just said we didn't have the volume to break out of that descending wedge. Just want to have a final look at the ADA BTC chart, and this seems also, after a possible ABC correction here, to have found support at the 0.5 fib level and might now also continue its way up, but we don't see yet the confirmation on the indicators. Yeah, okay, on the 1 hour chart we see it, not yet on the 4 hour. On the 1 hour chart you might now see here a bullish crossover on the MACD, but what I need to say, this here, what we see here, doesn't look very impulsive. It rather looks impulsive down at the moment, so we need to see here as well. What you see here, these green candles, they rather look like a bit of a bear flag for me, but yeah, we need to see how that's going to play out. Overall, I think, again, it's far too early to talk about a sustainable uptrend for Cardano here. We see here the first possible 4 waves of an impulse to the upside. Haven't even seen the 5th wave. Bear in mind, this would only be the first wave of many more to come, so don't panic here. That is my view. Stay calm, and if you missed the $1.08 buy order and 125 for all channel members, you might don't panic. You know, it's up to you when you buy, obviously, but this is by all means not yet a confirmed uptrend, and another dip is surely to come. Even if we go up here now in the 170 in a wave 5, I think there will be then another correction coming after that, because that would be the first impulse, and then there should be an ABC, which is a little bit larger. All right, interesting at the moment here for Cardano and Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, please smash the like button and subscribe. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye bye.